Hello, hello, good morning. Hello. Welcome once again to Dork Duck Daily. Lena will be joining us shortly. Getting a few more chores and things wrapped up before she sits down for the Friday show of Dork Duck Daily with all the news you nerd and all the extra trimmings. Friday we do r/ relationship advice as well. I'm gonna crack open my drink, take my meds, because otherwise I'm going to forget to do that. I invite you to do the same. Taking meds is important. Um, we're plotting this evening to go see Bring Her Back, the new horror film from the people who created Talk to Me, which is one of my favorite horror movies in the last handful of years. All right. Adderall down the pipe with a Celsius, as God intended. Who needs a heart? Not me. Very excited about that film. Also, have at some point today, something I used to do yearly, but it's long overdue because we have not had the finances to do it in a long stretch. Which is we have just in one of those like giant pull away trash bins being dropped off in our driveway today, so they will drop that off, and then I have to spend the weekend working hard and filling it, which should not be an issue because there's still stuff prior to Selena living here and prior to me living here by myself. I had a whole ex-wife who lived here, and then her sister also lived here, and there's still a large amount of their stuff from 7 years ago that's still in my basement. That is, and since basement flood, it's been a long, like, standing, like, shame pile of, like, all right, Jeff, you need to get to that stuff down there. And there was a couple years of, like, Jeff, you don't want to get to that because it's making you sad. And then there was a flood, and then it was like the stuff definitely didn't even have to be gone through at that point. It had to just be thrown out, and then it was just this like unending shame spiral thing of just like, well, if you pretend it's not down there, then it's not down there, right? So it's just it's been a long. We've gotten a lot of it out. Selena has been, because like I would use the excuse of not having a big bin to like not do a lot of it, and Selena has been amazing over the past like year or so, just filling huge like contractor bags full of stuff and like being like, we can still get some of this out, buddy. Like, we don't need to live like this. Adam says, I hope that all goes well with me too. At this point, it's just a lot of big stuff is left, like old furniture and old things, stuff that has not been utilized by people in years that just needs to get out of there. So, and then there's always like the the standard fare of like, this is like too big for a trash can and not something you can recycle or reuse. So we just like we'll continuously stash stuff like that in the garage, and then it's like it builds up over time, and then you're like, oh, okay, that kind of stuff. A mirror break, one of those like tall standing mirrors break about 3 or 4 months ago, and like that's just sitting in there waiting to be thrown out on a day like this, and so it's a lot of that. But they give you like 5 days, so have it dropped off on a Friday, and then that's my Sunday. That's what I have scheduled for Sunday. Is just a whole lot of hauling things and cleaning things and getting some of this square footage back, which I think will be helpful for everybody's mental health. And then potentially looking at putting some studio space downstairs. So there's a world where then it just says Sunday fun day followed by Monday ouch my back day. Exactly. But yeah, that then for people that enjoy the content of Selena and I, but specifically even me talking into microphones, um, the world in which this can be moved into a downstairs zone is helpful because then it can be done whilst someone is sleeping in this room. So that's all part of the process and all stuff that needs to get done and needs to get handled. Um, and I don't know. I've never been. I'm so much better than I was. I've never been really good at that stuff. I've always been the guy who like watched Hoarders and was like, while everybody else watching the show with me would like be like, "Oh my god," I would just be like, "I get it." Like, I can see how that could easily happen. That seems like a path that like um I could find myself upon fairly easily. Um and I don't think I would ever be one of those people just like spiraling as soon as someone helps clean. There was always those episodes of Hoarders where someone came and helped and the person was like, "Yeah, no, this all needs to go. Thank you." And like where it's just like you could tell it just got um on it got away from them, right? And that's my first apartment when I moved out of it. We literally moved out like with a shovel, like just shoveling things up. Um, Same since I'm half here. Well, half hello, half good morning, good more. As I clean up around myself every 2 to 3 months because I start recognize that feeling. Yeah, it's bad. I'm much better at at 38 than I was at 18 and I was at 28 and I hope that I'm better at 48. Um but holy cow, am I just like one or two emotional things away from that, and it's just like that's so much of the work we need to do around here is just that early Jeff that got the 1-2 punch of like divorce and then my dad died in like a number of months and then I didn't do anything. Well, I did a lot. I drank a lot. Drank a lot and slept around a lot. I did those things. But I didn't do a lot of cleaning. Adam said I can have here. Good morning. Um but yeah, so it's gonna be a big productive weekend of getting a lot of the territory of this house back. It's just gonna feel very nice. And then it's like a lot of detail cleaning that needs to happen in those spaces. Um, but a lot of that, should be on me. But like there's wonderful people like Lena who I think will have some desire to do that too, and just be like, oh cool, I can detail clean this now that all this shit is out of the way. So that'll be very helpful and productive, and it's nice that we had the bandwidth to get that done because it's been a long time coming. So, and we've been the neighbors where it's like there's been some stuff on the side of our garage that I'm sure is the neighbors are like, oh my god, why is that there? And it's like, well, because don't have means to throw it away yet, buddies, but we'll get there. So that's gonna be my weekend, but we are gonna break off a little bit tonight to go see that new horror movie, and I'm pretty excited. Um, and it's gonna be me, Selena, and my sister are all gonna sneak off and get very spooked because that movie looks very scary. Talk to Me was really freaky, so that I was uncomfy scared during Talk to Me, and I watched it at home, so I can't imagine what this is gonna be like watching it in theaters, but I'm excited. And then I would love a world in which I can also find a way to carve out seeing the new Wes Anderson film this weekend, but I don't think that's going to happen, especially because it's not playing anywhere near here. So, but that's my weekend plans. I hope everyone else is looking at some sort of leisure this weekend, or if you're doing projects, some fun projects. It's around here, it's just starting to get like really pretty and nice out. So I am excited with this whole thing that I can also use as an excuse to get my garage all clean and ready for the summer, to have it be a hangout space. Ado said I'm planning on doing as little as possible this weekend after this Hell Week. I'm not aware of the specifics of your Hell Week. I've not been around. I've been very busy. My week coming back from the week of my kid graduating, I've just been like half checked in, half checked out on everything. So I'm sorry if I've missed anything insane going on for you. I hope it all went. I hope hell went smoothly. I don't know if that's how you say that. I don't know if that's the appropriate thing to say. Don't worry, I haven't been around this week. So okay. Well, I love and appreciate your existence. So I'm sorry it's been a hellish week for you. We don't just talk about hellish weeks on this show. We also cover all the news you nerd in a segment we like to call Daily Quack. Time for some news. Ado says he's finally back home, ready to relax. Good. Cyberpunk 2 moves into pre-production as CD Projekt Red confirms almost 100 developers are already working on it. This is from Ethan Gotch over at Kotaku. So we might finally be closer to Cyberpunk 2 coming out than the original game was when it was first announced back in 2012. CD Projekt Red recently confirmed that the sci-fi open-world RPG sequel has moved into pre-production with roughly 100 developers currently devoted to the Polish studio's second major franchise. CDPR outlined its current development allocation in its latest report to investors, formerly known as Project Orion. Cyberpunk 2 is expected to take players back to the first game's bustling LA-inspired Night City, as well as to a new hub location that's been described akin to Chicago. The Witcher 4, meanwhile, currently has 422 developers working on it, but isn't expected to ship before 2027. The company also noted that Cyberpunk 2077's Phantom Liberty expansion has currently sold 10 million copies. The Witcher 3 has sold 60 million copies, 10 million of which are from the last 5 years. Assuming the Siri-led follow-up doesn't end up hitting until 2028, and Cyberpunk 2 takes 5 years of additional development after that, we wouldn't see it until 2033, about 8 years from now. It's insane to think that 2033 is 8 years from now. That's such a weird future-sounding year. Holy shit. God. That might feel like forever, but remember, it was 7 years between the first big cinematic teaser for Cyberpunk and its buggy release in 2020. Will things be smoother and faster this time around, considering CDPR now has lots of experience with both its first-person fantasy and first-person shooter formulas under its belt? Maybe. Both franchises are moving to Unreal Engine 5, and CDPR is involved in other projects as well. However, including a Witcher spin-off codenamed Sirius and a new IP called Hadar. Plus, Blockbuster game developer just keeps getting more Blockbuster game development just keeps getting more complex, expensive, and time-consuming. What took 5 years to make on the PS5 might take even longer on the PS6. No wonder then that in the meantime, CDPR is trying to get the existing Cyberpunk 2077 in front of more people with the Switch 2 port. Unfortunately, despite a next-gen version of Witcher 3 that came out a few years ago, a Switch 2 edition of that game isn't currently in the works. Ada says, I'm stoked for Cyber 2. I love 2077, so I hope this is amazing. Sam said I should try Cyberpunk one day. It's very good. Adam says it's amazing, Sam. There's a reason it's my favorite non-Final Fantasy game. What's up, Josh? Good morning. Josh says I used to enjoy escaping into a dystopian future. It seems less like escaping now. Adam says yeah, but at least you're more in control in the game. Woof. Big woof. Yeah, I suppose. Goodness. What a mess. What a fun. It's training now. um I can't imagine a worse thing though than playing any of these games on Switch. I don't Gaming has moved on without me. It's fine. Like I'm obsessed with Blueprints right now, which is like one of the few instances where I'm obsessed with a game and I know that it's not a game for Addo. It's too puzzly, right? But like I am so obsessed with Blueprints, and so I was like, I'm gonna try to find things in podcasts of people talking about Blueprints because I need to stop playing Blueprints so I can go to sleep. But I can't stop thinking about it, and I will just want to get up and play and not like lay down and sleep. So I'll listen to a podcast of people talking about it. That's where I was at way too late last night. And like every podcast I can find of people talking about Blueprints, they're just like, I'm just sitting playing on my Steam Deck. It's the perfect Steam Deck game. And I was like, that sounds like a nightmare. I can't think of a worse thing to do than sitting and oh my god, Addo. Addo said, yeah, puzzles and me go together like me and hearing. Sam says, I think I'm just a soon-to-be retro streamer. Yeah. I think that's... Oh, well, it's on the verge of, like, we... So, I'm thinking, and we're talking about, like, what's going to happen with this and everything else, because it's, like, it might... So the original vision of Dork Duck Daily kind of fell apart when we suddenly didn't have the free time that we thought was being afforded to us, right? And we've like tried to Frankenstein it together, and it's just never quite like fallen into place here, right? So like trying to figure out what to do next, and there's lots to talk to and lots to figure out, and it's like one of the ideas that I would like to do is like instead do lots of different shows, right? And one of which I would love to do a video game podcast, right? I think that would be cool. And yes, the world doesn't need another one, but like still, who cares? I have all these cool new amazing friends that I like talking to that like have opinions that I like and respect on video games, right? So like it would be a cool thing to do, except for the fact that like also all of those friends and myself kind of included are in a spot of just like, are we done with new games? Like I don't want the cynical old man podcast, right? That's crazy. So like, but like, I also don't. I think there's room for something that's not the cynical old man. The only good stuff is retro, right? But also, like acknowledging things like Josh says, new consoles in this economy. Yeah. Like, who the fuck is buying new consoles right now? The who's out there rushing to buy a Switch 2 and $80 games for it? I know there are people though. Sam says, to be fair, this was a long time coming. I barely got into the PS4/Switch generations. Like any new games I'm getting tend to be on PC. You're not alone in that though. I mean, everyone's drifted towards PC. Ada said there's a member of my community that's talked about a game of the month book club slash podcast. So I mean, you could say let's play X game and we'll talk about it. Yeah, I think so. I'm considering doing a similar thing comic book wise. And I know in that instance, we're talking about still kind of structuring it around new stuff. But still doing it like that so that there's a level of curation there that's not um that's not like just like the oh my god, you got to talk about everything and we have to just be a marketing arm for somebody else and that kind of thing. So that's in the works on the comic side of something that is. And it's interesting because like as I was talking to like all my ideas, I start talking through them with people that are way smarter than me, which is pretty. The best advice I can give anyone is like try really hard to never be the smartest person in the room. And whenever I become the smartest person in any room, I go, I'm in the wrong room. Like I'm not learning anything here, right? So like I've tried really hard to always like take all my ideas and like bring them to everyone and it's interesting because one of the earliest forms of what is brewing into what will be our new comic book podcast, probably it's pretty close to getting there, was based all on interviews because I do my first podcast venture was like doing interviewing and like I actually really enjoy doing interviews, and so I was like, okay, what if I did that again but like use that as the comic book thing. And I got pretty far in development on it, and then one very very smart person I brought it to was just like, if you do a book club podcast that is all based on interviewing things and like your level of curation is going to be guided by who you can get for an interview and not like the actual quality of the work. And we were pretty far in development when someone pointed it out, and I was like, oh, that's a very good point. And then I scrapped it and started over. And maybe ruffled the feather or two because like we were pretty far along in that process. But like that's a really smart note. And it's so easy, especially with like the comic end of things is the one part where like we have figured out how to make some amount of money, and so it's like anything we do there has to still kind of lean into that in a way. Unfortunately, it's I hate that this existence where like we have to think about that first, right? But it's so easy to like accidentally get swept into like being someone's marketing arm. You know, it's like that thing of like like if you're streaming games, like you're getting keys and like to stream the games and then to talk about the games, and it's like it is, you have to have a pretty robust level of integrity there though to still be like honest and not just be like well, they gave this to me, I can't like if the game's bad you have to be able to say the game's bad, right? But then are you getting a key from them in the future? Maybe not. It's tough to figure out these kind of lines and these kind of things. If that's what are you going to stream Comic Zone? We'll get to it. As I said, yeah, a little curation, a little bit of riffing, a little bit of hey, let's highlight this game. Sam said, as a natural idiot, I'm never the smartest person in the room. I can't accept that to be true. Edo says, I got that in spades. I'm definitely not the smartest person in any room, even if I'm the only person in a room. Sam says, I'm really glad I don't accept keys. Just less work / tedious. Yeah, but like there's a. So you have a. Here's where it starts to get like. a little funky though, right? Is that you have now a pretty good crowd and community that you've built up over time that like and trust you. Um, they're like, we can trust this man. He beat the Bible, right? They having you, if you had like a weekly, like, hey, I'm gonna stream a new thing to check it out and give my opinion on it to see if you guys want to spend money on this thing. It is like actually like would be a service to your community, because there would be people that would want to see and go like, oh yeah, I would like to play this game and spend my money on it. And there's probably a lot of like really good indie projects for which you could then signal boost and everything else. So it's like there's a world where Sam taking keys makes sense. However, with it comes all the things that you have to maintain an extra level of integrity, and you have to put extra levels of work into it, and you have to, yeah, the whole thing Shiki went through where it was like you got negotiated for keys, got keys. In that case, it was like through a third-party service you didn't want to mess up too, but then the game showed up and it was like filled with AI, and it was like, okay, well, we can trust this man. He beat the Bible. Should be on my tombstone. Ada says I got a couple games I got free keys from that were not good, so I just tried to focus on the things I liked and then say I can see some potential. Oh, Sam says so. To fix that, the game was not AI. Okay, sorry, I was misremembering. The marketing on Steam was, which is still shitty, but the devs seemed to think it was a difference. Yeah, that still sucks, man. Full of AI was just incorrect. Yeah, thank you for the correction. But yeah, there, even that, like, that's a that's like a tough thing to have to navigate. That by saying just I don't do keys, you don't have to worry about. But by saying you don't do keys, there is like a potential of like you not, like some of my proudest work back in the day was like me and my friend Aaron being the two people that were part of Split Kick that like were like, no, people need to play Papers, Please. Because we got a key for that game and we got to just be like, no, Papers, Please is amazing. You guys need to play this.
Well, played Paper.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the game's incredible.
Hi, Pete. But no.
He would like to ruin your new
Pete, no.
new mic.
No.
I'm a snoggle. Big man's kind of smelly. Hey, Shiki. He's a little smelly.
What that mean?
He's smelly. He smells.
Oh.
Sam says, okay, you guys need to play Sesame Street Fighter. I don't have a key. It's an old browser game. That works for me. Okay. She said I came in to mention to me. Yes, we were talking about you. Pizza Hut brings 40-year-old Book It initiative into the mobile age. There's a mobile app for Book It now. How do you feel about that?
Pete, why? Why are you back?
I'm gonna knock your stuff down, Mom. That's why he's back. This is from Aaron Bear at Marketing Dive. Pizza Hut is adding a digital twist to its 40-year-old Book It summer reading program with a new app that's designed to keep the elementary school-age children engaged in summer reading.
No, you could. Oh, you knocked down that lamp last night.
The new Book It app, which will be available in app stores beginning June 1st, enables parents to set monthly summer reading goals that are geared to their children's unique abilities Kids can earn one free personal pan pizza from the QSR chain per month by reaching their goals.
Sorry, I'm not trying to make sounds. I just also am like dying because my allergies.
I'm sorry.
I was like not even like in the bathroom. I was like just blowing my nose over and over and over again, and then every time I'd be like, "Okay, I'm ready. It's time." And then like my nose would start running again, and I'd be like, "It's just nose stuff." And I'm just so done.
Edo says, "I see gummy worms. Yes, they're
very good.
They're sour. They're great."
Do you want a Labubu? Is he yours now? Would you like a Labubu? Yeah, okay. Sorry, Pete. I didn't think Pete would like the Labubu. Oh my gosh.
He's a big fan.
Oh, he's like, nope, I want this now. No, that's part of the car seat for the Labubu.
Sam said, "I think it's important to say my stream is not about generating content or specifically showcasing stuff. My entire goal is to play through my collection. Buying new games makes it harder. It's just a B thing." That tracks. And I got relevant news thing. If you guys aren't already covering it, I'll just go grab the source and post it in your suggested room. Okay. I'll try to remember to look there to make sure. But yeah, I think I'm pro Book It app. That seems fine to me. I'm pro Book It app. There's a little like old man in me that's a little like just like, but
there's a little old man.
Yeah, but the booklets and stuff were so like integral to that process. But you also can't like go in and sit down in a Pizza Hut anymore like you used to be able to. So
he's resorted to just chewing on the like metal part of that.
Yeah, he doesn't think you should have nice things.
Yes, he does. Pete's a nice thing. Every time I try to take a picture of him with the Labubu, he stands up and is like, "No, mother. I do not want everyone to know that I like Labubus." You're a closet Labubu lover, huh? They don't want that out in the world. I need to pretend like I'm dark and mysterious and I don't like whimsical things.
Legend of Zelda is reportedly eyeing Euphoria star Hunter Schafer for the lead role.
I already knew that.
This is a news show.
How is it news when everyone's already known that for months?
It's like official now.
But they've been eyeing her for Legend of Zelda, but it's like
no, everyone's like they should cast her, but
no, it's been literal articles I've read. I promise you, I'm not lying. Like I read it like a month ago.
Where Miyamoto himself said it, because that's what happened yesterday.
Okay, well that's awesome. I was saying more along the lines of like other people that weren't him.
Yeah, because it was like the rumor mill for like forever, but like.
Okay, well it's good that like he's now stepped up to say that like yes, I would like that to happen, but like I'm just saying like it's literally this has been in the talks for a while.
It has been in the fan talks for a while. It has not been like in the like oh my gosh,
even just fan
people.
Talks, but like I remember reading like not Miyamoto, but like official people.
Shiki says, "I can guarantee at least half of our viewers didn't know this." This is from Josh Wilding at GameFragger. Says Nintendo recently announced the live-action Legend of Zelda movie will be released in theaters March 26, 2027. Bizarrely, Sony Pictures is developing the project, which will be a co-production with Nintendo. Legend of Zelda was first announced in November 2023. Creator Shigeru Miyamoto broke the news, revealing he was working alongside longtime Spider-Man franchise producer Avi Arad. Westball, the Maze Runner, is attached to direct and will likely make his next project before moving forward with a sequel to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Story details are few and far between, but the Jurassic World and Pokemon Detective Pikachu writer Derek Connolly is thought to be penning the screenplay. What's interesting about the March 27th release date is it's just a week after Sonic the Hedgehog 4. One will either back down or they'll go head-to-head with Sega and Nintendo battling for supremacy. We'll see what happens there, but Scooper Down Richmond brings word that today that Cuckoo in the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes star Hunter Schafer is being eyed for the role of Princess Zelda in the movie. Zelda is the princess of Hyrule, is often depicted as wise, courageous, magically gifted, wielding powers like I don't need to read where. Schaefer's also being eyed for the role of Mystique, apparently, in Marvel Studios' X-Men reboot.
Are you gonna yell at me if I also knew that too?
We report the news on this show.
I know, it's fine. I'm just saying, like, I knew that.
Okay.
I'm just stating a fact.
Why is that?
Can I not say that I knew that already?
I think.
Am I supposed to lie and pretend like I didn't know that and act surprised?
No, but like the like we shouldn't talk about it because it's
No,
something
I'm
you
not
already
saying we
knew
shouldn't
about.
talk about it at all. I'm just stating a fact, which is that I knew that already.
Good morning, Mello. Hello. Sam says, do you think Sony is gonna pull out the last minute to get back at Nintendo for bailing on them for the Philips CDI? That would be funny. Jakey said, do you think they'll actually talk or will the whole thing have dialogue boxes? Hard to say. I will say that this is a new news story that's making the rounds on Reddit and Facebook and all the places, despite Selena apparently knowing for months, despite it being breaking news today. And all of those places are having very normal reactions to a trans actor playing Zelda. So look forward to that in your news feeds. Because I got a small taste of it this morning and was like, all right, that's enough internet for today.
Because, like, I'm at the point where if I don't block them, I'm going to start fighting with them, and I don't think that it's... Yeah, exactly. I don't think that, like, it's something that I want to waste my energy on, so I just block them. They don't deserve access to my life.
Yeah. No, I agree in, like, your main feed and stuff, but if you, like, click on an article...
Oh, I thought you were saying someone that you knew said something, and I was like, I would yeet them out of my...
No, but if someone just shares the article, then you click through to the article, you see all the comments underneath it. Or if you have, like, just, like, if you're like, oh, everyone's talking about this on Reddit, and you have 2 clicks in, and you're like, oh my god, everyone's talking about this on Reddit. Sam says at least half of online bigotry is just bots trying to stir the pot. Probably. Windows Pack-In Classic Space Cadet Pinball has been unofficially ported to Android devices, and it's free.
Cool.
Do y'all remember Space Cadet Pinball? Or is that another thing where my age is? Look at it. Look at it. Doesn't that
I remember that.
Does that just like fill your heart with happy looking at that?
It reminds me of being a small child, so I guess that was the last time I was truly happy.
Adam says, what? That's on mobile now? I need that yesterday. Sam said I played the shit out of that. This is Jess Kinghorn over at PC Gamer who says, what came before the iPad, baby? Well, both parents working various IT system jobs through my youth. In my case, I was always destined to become a desktop gremlin. Hastening that descent were a number of games, but the accessibility of 3D pinball for Windows, Space Cadet was one that probably annoyed my folks the most. First packaged alongside Windows 95, there's no need to dig out an old machine for a nostalgic game of pinball. Space Cadet Pinball is now available for free on the Google Play Android App Store. It's very much still the game you remember, completely free of modern mobile dreadfulness, such as microtransactions or in-app ads. Android ports developer Kyle Silvestri has added online leaderboards so you can compete on high scores, though otherwise an online connection isn't even necessary to play. However, as this is a port for your smartphone, you are stuck tapping on a screen control overlay. Touchscreens were a mistake aside, it's also worth underlining this isn't an official port by Microsoft, or indeed the long since defunct Cinematronics. but a project by a lone nostalgic developer based on a compilation, I don't know how to say that word, of the original game by K4 Zumitu on GitHub. Addison first. Is that on Google Play Store or at APK download? Don't worry, download it already.
Jeffrey.
Sam says you need a hug.
What? I mean, that would be valid. I probably do need a hug. I'm just extra cranky because I have really bad allergies. Hi. I have really bad allergies.
Is that a
right
Labubu How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah. And it's actual, like, legitimately from Pop Mart.
Here's my problem with that collab.
Oh boy. Lay it all out.
Well, you could tell it's a Labubu because of the prominent teeth.
Uh-huh.
Homie's name is Toothless.
Oh, yeah. Wait, doesn't his teeth pop up and...
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the
Yeah, they pop out.
verbiage is, I couldn't think of.
Sam said, in case she already forgot, Lena said the game made her think of being a small child, which is the last time she felt truly happy.
That was maybe... I want to say it was a joke. It was kind of true.
It was
Maybe just a little bit.
Spiky joke.
A little... Say spiky or spicy?
Spiky joke.
Spiky joke is fine, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I am just on
Ooh.
allergy meds and...
We watched
Oh my
when Marnie
God.
was there last night because I got that Studio Ghibli Steelbook this week. And it was me, Selena, and the 10-year-old just bawling.
Oh my lord, I was like... It was like one of those cries that like you couldn't even... I couldn't contain. Like, because sometimes I'm like if I'm watching a movie and it's really sad, I'll be able to like pull myself together. I could not. It was like unescapable sadness.
Did you say Marnie? Yes, When Marnie Was There is the name of the Studio Ghibli
It's so
movie.
good. And like by the end of it, I was just like loudly sobbing. And like I remember our middle kid coming in being like, "Can you unblock YouTube?" While we're all just
like all like
we're like sobbing. They're like, "I need to do my homework. Can you unblock YouTube?" Why are you guys crying? Did you watch a movie? They were just like, hold on 1 second. It was bad, but good because it was a good cry. It was a very good movie. It's probably one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies now, and it inspired me to draw Totoro. Before it made me cry, it inspired me to draw Totoro because I was like, ooh, I'll draw something Studio Ghibli related.
I really like your Totoro drawing. You
Thank
should
you.
put it in the Discord.
I did, and I'll probably do more Studio Ghibli stuff. What are you doing?
I forgot. Sam said he was putting something in the thing. I almost completely forgot.
It's okay. I've been completely forgetting like 5 minutes prior to this moment.
Sam put in that Twitch will soon release 2K streaming to all partners and affiliates who use enhanced broadcasting self-encoding and eligible. What?
What? What does that mean? Explain it like I'm 5 or whatever the Reddit.
You can stream in 2K.
Is it 4K better?
Yeah, but nobody should be streaming in 2K.
Why not?
I don't know about nobody, but almost nobody.
Nobody. Why not? What's wrong with it?
It just takes up a lot of bandwidth, and
Maybe I want my bandwidth to be taken up by people streaming in 2K.
Okay, but it just like costs a lot of money and resources
Oh,
that
never
just
mind
aren't
then.
like super necessary.
I mean, if they have the stuff already, why does it cost anything extra?
Yes, it's like us streaming right now costs a shit ton of money.
What?
Mel says Wind Rises is the best. Interesting. I've not heard anyone make that take. Sam Sam said, my brain just autofilled when Marnie was there in short documentary about how Marnie is never at her shop when you need to buy animals and supplies because she's too busy banging the mayor. Seriously, Marnie, I need auto collector for my eggs.
That's so accurate, though. She really is never there.
Sam says, your stream right now is costing Twitch hundreds of dollars. That is true. And if they, as a company that's constantly like refining things and deleting things because they don't have enough money, suddenly allowing everyone to do 2K.
Oh, okay. When you put it that way, sorry, I was confused by that, but I understand now. Thanks for clarifying.
Sam says you do extra processing on your PC to make all the various quality options instead of Twitch doing it. The current cap is 1080p. Yeah. Shiki said, I read this quickly and thought you said Wind Rises in the West. Wind Rises is a very good film, and it's Miyazaki like crying about the fact that his stuff has been forced into capitalism, and so he made a movie about, because he had a deal for a long time where there wasn't allowed to be any Studio Ghibli merch, like because he never wanted money to be made off of that stuff.
Oh yeah, now I go into Barnes and Noble and there's like $50 tiny Totoro coin purse, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, so Miyazaki's response to that was to make a movie about the guy who just wanted to make planes during World War II because he thought planes were beautiful.
I need to.
And then they were used to drop bombs, and he had to face and reckon with like just being obsessed with making beautiful creations and then being used to destroy the world. That's his response to like them making Studio Ghibli merch.
That man is so like this is gonna sound really brain rotty, but like he's so like thought daughter coded. Like I don't mean that in like a I'm trying to be with the kid, like the times, you know, like I'm trying to like do the slang or whatever. It's just that's all the description that I have in my head that makes sense to me right now. Like he's so emotionally in tune in a way that like I just can't even.
Shiki said, I'm late, I must away, bye Shiki, we love you. Continue.
Oh, sorry. Goodbye. I don't know how to explain what thought daughter means, but like, it's a.
I didn't know what it meant either, Sam. I was just like,
it's a TikTok term.
Thought daughter.
Thought daughter. Like, yeah, Google will probably.
Thought daughter is a term particularly popular on platforms like TikTok that describes a girl or woman who is deeply introspective and often finds solace in intellectual pursuits, literature, and darker or melancholic media.
Yeah, see? Am I right, though?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. He's just so in tune with that kind of thing.
He also
in a way that, like, I can't...
He also smokes like a chimney in a way that I'm like, I could smoke cigarettes again.
Oh, I thought you meant weed, and I was like, that makes sense. But no, he smokes cigarettes?
Yeah. Just constantly.
No.
And he's so old.
He needs to stop. He needs to not do that.
I could go back. It's fine. It's fine.
No, you can't.
Hey, every Friday, we cover relationship advice.
Oh, we're gonna do a song? Okay.
Relationship advice. It's time to ask a question of Reddit instead of talking to your partner. Yeah.
Did you just make that up, or have you done that before?
I just made that up.
Okay, because sometimes I'm not here on a Friday, so I was like, oh, that's new.
There's a guitar there, so I was like, there, we got a song. It's fine. My husband, 31-year-old male, brought chocolates and cookies to another mom at our son's school. Not sure how upset I, 39-year-old female, should be.
Okay. I need some context for that.
Sam says, can we name the song Communication?
Communication.
I'm a 39-year-old female looking for some outside perspective on a situation that's been bothering me. My husband, 31-year-old male, is a stay-at-home dad and handles all the school drop-offs and pickups for our son. Recently, I mentioned that one of the moms of the school texted me to grab coffee sometime. A few days later, my husband admitted almost reluctantly that he had brought her chocolates and cookies. He drove about 30 minutes to a specialty store, and that's where he got them. He was buying other stuff for himself there as well. Oh, and I've never met her. He said he was afraid she might mention it to me, so he confessed, but only after I brought her up.
Wait, who initiated the coffee? Was it her or the girl, the other lady?
It sounds like the other lady was like...
Oh, she's probably like, hey. Like, it's like the equivalent of, like, a girl texting you. Like, hey, girl.
Yeah.
Which is never a text that you apparently want to receive.
Yeah.
According to TikTok.
He said she was afraid she might mention it to me, so he confessed, but only after I brought her up. He apologized, but when I tried to have a deeper conversation about it, he got really angry and told me to just drop it. That's a sure sign that someone has nothing to decide.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you this thing that might raise more questions, but when you have more questions, I'm going to get angry and tell you to drop it. Like, cool. Thanks.
That reaction honestly made things feel worse. Later, I casually spoke to another parent at the school, and she mentioned, without me asking much, that he comes across as a very flirty guy. I had no idea people viewed him that way. I'm just feeling a mix of confusion, disappointment, and insecurity. He put effort into buying and delivering sweets to another woman who, by the way, is married with several kids.
Oh, man.
I don't want to overreact, but I also don't want to ignore something that feels off. Any thoughts or advice would be
It's bad when a
appreciated.
man, like, goes after a woman that is available. It's even more, like, I don't want to say insulting, but just, like, confusing when they go after women that are, like, not available. Because it's
Yeah.
like you're willing to not only blow up your own life, but someone else's life? For what? Like...
Also, is he going to the specialty store for you? Like, are you getting special treats, or is it
I don't
just strange
care.
moms? No, that's what I'm asking though. It's 10 times worse if it's like, if all she's getting is like, hey, how's your day? But like for this other person, he's like, oh, I drove 30 miles out of my way to get her.
Even if I was still getting specialty things, I'd be like, it wouldn't feel special anymore.
Right.
If you're just giving them to some lady in the school pickup line.
Yeah, that's a weird, like, it'd be one thing too if it's like, oh man, we've got play dates, like it's friend of the family, like, but even then, it's a pretty good rule. Like, I say this like acknowledging that like toxic monogamy is a thing, and it's like you're allowed to have friends that are like of other genders and like what have you.
Yeah.
But like when you're in a relationship and someone else is in a relationship, gay, straight, whatever, it is like pretty good form to like be inclusive of the partner as like relationships are budding.
Yeah, I think it ekes into like toxic when the other person has to be involved, but like there's always that like door of like, oh, I'm inviting both of these people, or I'm including both of these people, and then if one of them doesn't want to go but the other one does, like, then it's like still invited them and opened that door.
Yeah.
Like there should be that. It's just...
Edo said, yeah, the wife needs to talk to him maybe via therapy and or look into divorce. It's just, it doesn't smell right.
It doesn't, and it doesn't necessarily mean that he's like actively cheating, but it's like a very weird like...
Yeah, but guys do this thing where it's like they try to cheat and fail because most guys don't have any game.
That's almost, like I said, more insulting than like if you just succeeded. It's like, imagine being married to a man and him throwing himself at other women and them just being like, no
thank
thanks.
you. But dudes do, and then like when they get caught and they get in trouble, they're like, well, it was just cookies. But it's like, no, you were hoping it was more than cookies.
Yeah, your intentions.
That's the problem. But
yeah.
they fall back on like, no, it was
nothing else happened. It's fine. It's like, that's not the issue here, you silly goose.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So
This is
tired
probably a
of-
sales call, but I have to answer it just in case it is our trash people. Hello?
Why did you answer it like that?
Who's this?
What if it was the trash people and you were
It
just like,
wasn't.
hello?
It wasn't. It was the sales thing.
You answered the phone the way that you answer the phone when I call you.
Edda says, I always feel like gifts of those kinds have to be brought up to the partner before they are bought. Like if they say, hey, there's this mom whose daughter in Susie's class told me they're having a rough time. How about we get some cookies for them? It's very different from just getting the other mom specialty cookies and not telling the wife. Thank you for taking care.
I think he just answered the phone, by the way.
I did. They're not allowed to hang up on me, and so they're going to be stuck on that phone call for a while.
Jeff just hung up on them. Oh my god.
Mel said,
Stop.
trash people. No, we're getting a trash bin to our house today.
Are you sure it's a sales call?
Yeah. Did you answer in mute? No, it's not mute. It's like it's sitting across, so there's just enough because they're not allowed to hang up. Yeah, it's been like 40 seconds of... Now they have to get a supervisor to come over to be like, am I allowed to hang up on this? Because I can sort of hear them.
Jesus. It's kind of diabolical, dude.
Yeah.
But also, like, salespeople are predatory. But also, like...
I mean, I used to be one.
It's not their fault. You
it's a
shouldn't
job.
it's just like a person there. You shouldn't force them to listen to us streaming. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's still going.
Just hang up. It's fine. Oh my god. I don't want the random salespeople to know my business.
Yeah, I did say trash people, but I didn't mean people that are trash. I meant
Like the literal trash people that work for the city that oversees the trash land, trash sector, trash section.
Yeah.
The section of the city that I don't even know. Do they sound nice at least?
Yeah, they're okay. This person says to our lady, get the coffee, get her perspective, and go from there. Your husband is way out of line. This isn't like a mutual friend. You don't know her. This is a married lady, and other parents think he's being flirty too. Getting him angry is also sus as hell.
Yeah.
This person says, woo, I have a lot of questions. I don't want to overwhelm you, though. Did he pick you up anything from the shop? Is this a common thing for him to do for people? Why would he think buying chocolates for a woman from your kid's school is okay? Do you think he would have told you had she not texted? I think maybe she was going to tell you about it during coffee and maybe keep that date and find out the circumstances and what she has to say. His reaction bothers me to no end, though. Why the anger? Yeah, it could be even worse. Like, he could have made more of an overt move, and she's waiting to tell you during coffee.
Yeah. Are you still on the phone with them?
No.
Okay.
They just left a message. Okay.
Left a
Yes.
Are they allowed to do that?
All right.
What? Was it even a sales call?
Okay, could you relax?
I'm not relaxed anymore. I was fine with it.
It is a sales call.
Okay.
I could read everything that came through now. It's just they called back because we got disconnected, and like it was like it's the text to speech to text thing is like, hi, we got disconnected. I can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
All right. I, 27-year-old female, am dating an over-talker. 28-year-old male.
A yapper.
A yapper. throw away for obvious reasons, but I need advice. My boyfriend, 28-year-old male of just under a year, just never stops talking. I understand he's curious or just wants to know, but it's so frustrating. He asks obvious questions just so it's not silent, even when we are in the middle of a game or a show. There's more than just that. Like, he always says unnecessary stuff or says things in a way that makes it seem like an insult or an attack, but follows up by, I don't mean it that way, but there's no other way to take it, and it's just a lot, and I'm tired of being the bad guy when I get offended at what he says, even though he didn't mean it that way. I tried to tell him that there's no point to bring it up if it has nothing to do with what his point is. We live about an hour drive away, but he plays victim and acts sad when I don't give him constant attention. I've tried to explain we're adults and we need to have our own lives, but it doesn't seem to stick. He has grown tremendously since we met, but I just want to know if I'm being dramatic. You guys are in your 20s, break up. You're not the ones
like
for each other.
Almost in their 30s, but yes.
But yeah. You're like, if you're in your 30s and the break up. Life's too short to date someone
That you're like, oh my god, stop talking. It's like you should actually enjoy when the person that you love is talking, and if you don't, then
that's not the person for you.
yeah.
Like,
I understand also, like, overstimulation is a thing, and sometimes I'm like, I need all sounds to just, like, stop
we were there yesterday.
for a second. Well, because I am dying of allergies currently, and Jeff was like, I want to listen to this song, and I was like, can you, like, turn it down a little bit, though, because my head really hurts. And I think he forgot that my head hurt after a while because he, like, switched to a different song, and I was like, oh my god, I love this song, and, like, turned it all the way up, and I'm just like, I can feel the bass in my skull. Please. But yeah. No, I get that, like, having, like, overstimulation to too much sound. But if you're literally just like, this person is talking.
Yeah.
And it's only them, like, just, you shouldn't be with them then. Because, like, you should enjoy.
You should be, excited about it. Sam said on that point, instead of watching a show last night, Kaylee and I just laid in bed and talked for like 2 hours. It was really nice.
Those are my favorite kind of like chilling with a partner that you can just sit and like talk for like 2 hours.
Yeah. That was like early Lena and I was just like sitting on the
we would get like really cheap wine and just sit on the kitchen floor and talk for like 5 hours. Yeah. There was this other night where like we then ended up just like laying in bed and talking for like 5 hours, and then I had to go to work the next day, and I didn't sleep at all.
Up, yeah.
And it was rough on my sleep schedule, but it was well worth it.
Edo said it can be so nice to just sit and talk and chat. Yeah. Ed also says, less than a year dating, I think breaking away, you've reached the year, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, it's, if you're dating the right person, you're never going to think, with few exceptions. I mean, everyone's going to get on everyone's nerves at some point, but like, for the most part, you're not going to think they're ever talking too much. You're just going to be like, oh my God, I get to hear more of this person talking.
I always have that anxiety that I'm talking too much. There'll be moments where I'm just like, just like going off. And then I'm realizing like, I haven't given you any space to say anything throughout me just yapping. And I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But
no, I love that though, because it's like, you don't talk when you get around most other people. So it's like,
I don't.
The people you're really close to, you do. But like, if you're in a room with like someone you don't know like incredibly well, you don't talk much.
My social skills have kind of atrophied as an adult.
Yeah, but that means that you feel comfortable and safe with me, that you talk as much as you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, why would I feel upset about that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sam says, I feel like sometimes we just end up consuming too much media, always gaming or watching a show or something. It was nice to just chill. She crocheted and we just talked about a bit of everything. Yeah. Finding things too where you can like do like cool like parallel play things too is like really nice.
There There is something nice about parallel play too.
Yeah. It's like I'm a big movie guy and I have to like really watch it because I'm very much at like, hey, let's shut all the lights off and watch a movie, and I can watch like 6 or 7 movies in a row and be like, can we watch another movie?
I need like other stimulation if I've seen a movie before, or if like it's a really long movie. Sometimes my brain is like, you should be doing something else during this movie, but not like something that will actively take away from the movie. So like drawing quietly, or like I used to be able to like put like jewelry together while we would watch a movie, because that doesn't require like sound or brain power. I can focus on the movie.
Mel says, besides online, no one to talk to except mom somewhat. I bad at online communication. I'm really
Me too.
I feel like people are jealous of me and my lack of social anxiety with like in-person stuff, but I have so much online and digital social anxiety. It's so hard. It's
And I have both.
yeah. It's just very difficult for me to navigate like like texting, and I've gotten better, but like
It's really hard to like figure out the tone of text for me.
Yeah.
And I always like overthink. Like I text someone, like I sit there and I like rough draft a text, even if it's like a very simple like, hello, what time works for you for this thing? Blah, 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 blah. And I'll sit there and be like, does this sound okay? Did I do this right? And Jeff's like, yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
You're just asking what time an activity is. It's not like you're diffusing a bomb. And I'm like, but what if I say the wrong thing and they get upset?
Also, Mello, you reminded me I need to talk to my mom more. It's like a constant, like, I feel like every week I get to the end of the week and I'm like, God damn it, Jeffrey.
I need to text my mom back.
Well, I know enough people now too that their moms aren't around anymore and like wish they had more time, and then it's like I feel like I'm always wasting it.
We should go hang out with your mom more.
Yeah, we should.
Her and I could bake or paint or something.
I'm sure she would love that.
Yeah.
And I could just like sit and read a paperback or something while you guys do whatever nonsense.
That'd be nice.
Sam said I spent like 3 hours on the phone with my mom. She is excited for us to be in town next month. Nice. How are the bees?
The bees.
Mom does bees.
I know.
Great. I love bees.
Me too.
Like on Reddit, the comments, he sounds insufferable. How do you even stand him? Why would you willingly submit? Or it just sounds like it's not the right person.
Yapper, man.
Yeah.
Get another yapper. He needs just or he needs to be with someone who likes to listen. Because like again, sometimes I'm going off on a tangent and Jeff is just sitting there patiently listening and is like happy to hear me yap.
Reddit is
Reddit's mean. I don't like
weird.
Reddit.
It's gotten weird.
I
mean,
don't
it
go
always
there
has
much
been
anymore.
weird, but like it's even more so lately. Sam said the bees are great. Apparently, she had like 3 hives last year, and now they're split into 7 hives.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Okay. Let's bring this home. We have to be ready for trash bin shenanigans. Mel says, scared of bees? Well, they help you breathe. I suppose it's and they don't want to sting you. They'll literally die. And they're sweethearts. So I hear. When I got told to be scared of bees, it was what was being told to me, and when I mean told they're sweethearts is also what's being told to me. So like, admittedly, it's not like I hang out with bees a ton, but I'm leaning towards the wisdom of the second one.
I have a question for you, Jeffrey.
Yep.
Did that sales call start with a 972?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, because if so, they have my phone number as well.
Okay.
And they were like, hey, have Jeff give us a call back. And I'm just like, no, leave me alone. Why are you calling me? Do they watch this stream? I'm so scared right now. I feel so vulnerable.
Okay.
I don't like this. I didn't even know they had my phone number and they knew my name. I don't think that was a sales call.
Okay, just relax.
I can't relax. I'm on so many antihistamines right now. And I just took an Adderall. I'm scared. Oh my god. Do they know where we live?
Oh my goodness. Can you come?
No. I can't calm down. Sam said just turn off your phone. Can do.
That makes everything go away.
I mean, I have an iPad and they don't have my iPad number, so whoop.
Okay.
They're not real, they carry you. I mean, I think they're real. Bull. Hopefully.
Okay.
Do you think they have AI bots that are doing sales calls yet?
Well, what is up, Effector of Change? Hello. You're here right for the end. We're gonna go bug Shiki though, so hang out for a second. Hey, there's our YouTube. We put a lot of work into it. Effector says I'm literally just an AI prompt. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Also, if you don't follow Vector Change for some reason, go do so.
I would, but I just turned my phone off, so I can't.
They're good people, have good TikTok game and stream and do counseling. They're wonderful. That's our YouTube. I just shared a link to. Please give it a follow. Put a lot of work into it. Please don't die, Selena.
Sorry, I'm trying not to.
If you want to buy comic books from us or other things from us, go ahead and click that Whatnot link. They'll give you $15 free to buy from us or somebody else. Even if you use it to buy retro video games or something for someone else, if you're like, I don't like comic books, they'll still give us $5 for you clicking that link and signing up and spending that money. So,
That was
Frosty Shoutouts doesn't say fantasy for me. That doesn't understand the brand. Nice. All right. We have raid messages. They look like that if you are not subscribed, or that if you are. We're gonna go say hello to Shiki, who was just here 2 seconds ago. And then we're gonna
go have the trash can.
we're gonna go have the trash can.
We're gonna go have the trash can put in our driveway.
Yeah, and then
we're
fill
gonna
it with all the
declutter
things.
this weekend. I'm so excited.
I'm pretty excited too.
It's gonna be really scary though, because I get really sentimental about things and I don't like throwing things away, but
yeah, decluttering's good.
Decluttering's important.
Sam says 25 minutes is a few seconds today.
I was debating saying that, but then I was like, it's okay. Jeff's sense of time is
it's
a bit
wibbly
funky.
wobbly, yeah. We're gonna go over to say hi to Shiki. She's playing Silent Hill 2
Yay.
remake. Which you could click that YouTube link and watch us do that later. But we love you. Be honest, be kind, be useful.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, and live a good fucking life. We'll see you
on Monday.
Yeah.